What is up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie livestream. My name is Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you, as always, to upgrade your skills before your gear. And welcome, one and all. If it is your first time here, please be sure to introduce yourself into the chat so you can get the nice Camera Junkie Crew welcome. And as tradition goes around here, first thing that I do is to go ahead and check to see who are the first members of the Camera Junkie Crew in the chat. All right, so let's go ahead and see. All right, we have Gretchen in the house saying hi to me and to Aiden and to the crew. We also have Parker Jennings saying what's up to everybody. She came in on her regular channel. And says hi to me, to Aiden. Thanks for all the great ideas today. On the old Rode mic, it's working great. I set up 6 camera presets with the tiny light too in Studio G. Love it. Love it. All right, give me a second here. Crazy, but I got caught up doing Cities Go. We said we're hearing an echo. Was it in that scene? Let me check. Testing 1 2. Definitely. Sorry about that, guys. This scene I had the system audio on, and that was with what we were showing last week. You know, the whole showing you the behind the scenes edit with Opus and stuff like that. So that was last week, right? But we fixed it, so it sounds good now. Man, this slider is sensitive. Sometimes it's too low on the music, then it's too high. See, like right there, I feel like the music disappeared. But we'll go right there. Bam. Said it sounded like reverb. Well, it wasn't reverb, it was double audio. It was coming in 2 times. Okay, so where are we? I'm kind of like trying to... Okay, we fixed it. Yep, we're good to go. All right, so today, what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about microphones, and we're talking about testing out Amazon's cheapest microphones by any chance. I actually ordered a couple different ones. The one that I'm really enamored with is the one that I put on the thumbnail. I believe I put it as the pinned comments, and I'm gonna put it as the main the pinned comment, but I'm also gonna put it as the main, what is it? It's the main comment in chat, but it's also gonna be the pinned comment in the description as well. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's a Rucker Co. That's the correct pronunciation. Rucker Co. lavalier wireless microphone, and it's an entire little set. And I'm really impressed. And we're gonna test it out to see exactly what it sounds like in this environment. What we're listening to right now is the Rode, which the Rode Pod mic on the Rodecaster Duo, and that's what we're dealing with at the moment. And I'm about to switch this on, but let me give you a bit of a behind the scenes look. So let's go over here. Just to show you what I actually did is I ordered a different set of microphones, these tiny little microphones while the camera glitches, right? And this set right here with the receiver and two microphones, because the other one I placed right here. So two microphones and the receiver. The receiver is USB-C, so you can use it on any of the newer iPhones and the newer Android phones. But as you can see, I have it connected directly to my system. So I put it into a USB slot, and now my system picks it up. So what I'm going to do is switch it over in Crisp, because, you know, those of you who know, I use Crisp noise blocker to eliminate the background sound. So I'm going to implement that to the microphone just the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Crisp up here. Crisp has been adding so many things lately. There's been a bit of a pain, you know, like all I want to do is get to the menu, but is having me click off 3 different screens before I can get to it. But I digress. Okay, so now I'm going to switch it from the Rodecaster Duo to the USB 1.0. And we've done so. So right now, the audio that we're hearing is from this wireless microphone that I'm holding here like a TikToker. Yep, let's go back to the main, and it's this little guy right here. So this is this doesn't even have a brand name, if I remember correctly. You know what? Let me open up that window before I put my foot in my mouth. I'm going to go to my orders, and this kit that we're listening to right now was $10, $9.99, which is bonkers. And the other kit with the microphones and everything, I paid $12.99, and right now it's on sale for $11.99. So these are super inexpensive microphones, but this is the quality that you can get. Now this one, yeah, it doesn't have a brand. The Rucker Co. is the one with the box. This one just says wireless lavalier lapel microphone for iPhone 15 series, Android/computer, Bluetooth Mini. You know, one of these extremely long names here. I am gonna put the link in the chat because it's, you know, you guys are gonna let me know what it sounds like. If I get a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I can see the levels are definitely hitting where they're supposed to, and right now the only thing would be the quality, right? But we can just kind of sneakily put this on right here, right? Yeah, so now I'm not even holding it with my hands, and I'm using the mic stand. Yep. And might get more of an airy sound, but we'll actually see, because right now it's about, you know, 8 inches away from my mouth. So let me grab this link. And the cool part about this is that you get 2 microphones. So let's say the transmitter's connected to your phone and you're a solo creator, you basically have doubled your battery life, because as soon as one, you know, fades out, you can just switch to the second and continue recording. But it also gives you the ability of recording 2 different people, which is amazing for a podcast. If you're doing it like, you know, Doc Rock right now is in Washington, actually, I believe, but making his way over to Las Vegas for NAB, which is the North American Broadcasting, right? I think so, something like that. Paul, Mr. Moderator, that's here. Yep, saying greetings. He's actually on his way to NAB just the same. I unfortunately have to miss this event, even though I really wanted to go. We'll work for it for next year, but has to do mostly with the fact that Aiden is not allowed on the show floor, which, you know, Aiden is my co-pilot, and because of this reason, I have now serious case of FOMO because so many things happen, and I just feel like I would miss out. But let me. I'm losing focus here. Bam. All right, so that's the link to this $10 microphone, which is what we're listening to right now. And I can't listen to it myself right now. If I do, I will stumble over my words. It's just the way that I work, so to speak. So I always make sure that I mute my own microphone because I'm looking at the levels and I can tell that the audio is going out the way that it should. So I trust in that. And for that reason, it allows me to just speak naturally instead of me, you know. I don't know. It's weird. You guys let me know how you guys work that out. If you're someone that has to listen to your own voice, even with that little, like, you know, milliseconds of delay, but that delay aspects really throws me off. It just does, and that's why I just mute anything that's coming from me, and I have to trust completely on the levels because if not, then I wouldn't be able to really do this because I would be stumbling over my words consistently. So that's what I'm trying to avoid for that reason. So, all right, so this is the first microphone, and we're gonna put this to the test now to the other microphones just the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back into Crisp, and I'm gonna switch back to the Rodecaster. Bam. So we're back on the Rodecaster Duo and the Pod mic. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna shut this off. So to give you a quick little, you know what? I'm gonna give you guys the top-down view. That was cool. You saw that transition? I'm just saying. All right, so I'm disconnecting, even though this camera is upside down right now. Let me unlock my scene. That would be a good idea before I make adjustments. It's G. Oh. There we go. Much better. Unlock my scene again so I don't mess that up. And we're right back to it. Okay. So this is the kit. They didn't really come with much. Like $10 didn't get you a lot. It just got you the microphones, if I remember correctly, in a small little bag, which I know I'm not going to use, but pretty much this is the to-go kit. You have a couple of different ways of adjusting this. Which way was it? Okay, like this, right? But you have the ability of putting it sideways if you want to clip it that way and keep the microphone's face. So a little bit of like versatility with the clips themselves, right? But everything's plastic. The power buttons are on the back side. So you press and hold that and it syncs up immediately as soon as you basically have this plugged in and powered up. This is a USB-C connector because if, let's say, you have it on your phone, then you have the ability to continuously power or trickle charge your phone while you're using it. So if you're setting your phone as a camera, and once again, like I referenced, let's say you're a solo creator and you're going to be recording for a long time, then you're able to plug this into the bottom of your phone, plug it in so that that's powering up your phone, and then you have double the battery life because you have two microphones that sound I believe pretty decent. I'm gonna have to listen to this back myself to check those out, and that's like the first one. And now the one that I'm kind of excited for, which is this little kit right here, because I'm more impressed with like all the features that you're getting with this microphone. So for $12 right now, $11.99, you have the ability to get this little kit. Now it's similar to the Hollyland Lark, I believe. Hollyland wireless microphones. The only difference is that the Hollyland actually, well, more than that, but I'm saying the biggest difference is that this has two transmitters, or better said, two receivers. The transmitters are the microphones, and the receivers, you have one for iPhone Lightning, and then you have your standard USB-C. The Hollyland, which costs significantly lot more, that actually has a third transmitter, which is for like cameras, just 3.5 millimeter jack, and it has some features on that. That's like the biggest difference out of that set towards this one, just from the first perspective. But we're talking about a, I don't even know the percentage, because you're talking, I believe the HoloLens are like $150 and these are 12. So the markdown is significant. I would say more than 90% difference, but I digress. This has the same setup. As you can see right on top, you have the pass-through power, right? This one is Lightning because it's for the iPhone, and USB-C for all the rest. Now, if you plug this into your system like I'm about to do, USB-C, then the system has plenty of power and it won't drain it to actually use the transmitter. So we'll be doing that, and then I'll be taking out one of these little guys, which is the microphone. So let's go ahead and connect that, right? As you see, all I did was just put a couple of adapters just to get it in the right position. So that's it. And now I'm just going to connect that to my computer. See, we have power. You can see the lights turning on, and we have one microphone connected, which is the one to the left. And I guess it's still looking for Mr. Right. Let me just double check. Yep. So now we have stereo, which is pretty impressive. So let's go ahead and play with that a bit. Go ahead and change this microphone to, it's called USB audio as well. Testing, testing. Yeah. Okay, well, they both came up as USB audio 1.0. So the connection or the language that is speaking to the computer is just basic as can be. So right now we're using, I need to be using these microphones because these are the ones that sound good. But right now we should be getting like a stereo experience. Let me know with a thumbs up in the chat if you're hearing the stereo experience out of these microphones, if it's one's coming in left or right, or if it's coming in together, because actually it could be coming in together through crisp. It could be all sounding monotone. So let me know. Okay, but I'm gonna go back to it, right? So we have two of these microphones, which is pretty impressive, but these have their own noise cancellation inside them themselves. So that's really cool. They have a button here for the mute, and they're magnetic as well. So as you can see, they snap onto it. They do have a clip. Oh, actually, I need to put something so you guys can hear me. Okay, that should be close enough. But like I was saying, it even has a magnet here, so that let's say you wanted to put it on yourself easily, then you have all of the things that you would need built in, which is, like I said, this is crazy impressive. Not even, oh my god. Yeah, and you know what, like I'm a tech nerd, right? So there's a lot of things that I buy kind of in bulk, like neodymium magnets, right? Because I'm using them in a bunch of projects and things like that. And these neodymium magnets, they are not, cheap. They're pretty expensive, but they do the best job when it comes to magnets. And so I buy them, like I said, in bulk when I can. And I know the standard price out of these things. What's impressive about this box is that just this box itself has a built-in battery. So it has like wireless charging into it. As you can see, we have a USB connection on the back. If you have all the devices, or better said, the microphones installed in there, because those are the wireless parts as well, then they will be charged. And you have a front LCD display telling you the amount of charge that each one has currently. Then on top of that, you have multiple magnets. So to pull that back out over here, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the case, and that's just for the lid. Then at the bottom of each one, you have a magnet to hold each one of these items. So that's 8 right here. And then on top of that, you have 2 per microphone. 1, 2, which is nuts. So in total, we're talking about 12 neodymium magnets in the set, which that probably would cost you more than the $12 for the microphones themselves. So that's why I'm like just so shocked with this entire little kit, because like breaking down to just even the parts that's in here is pretty nuts what you can get for under $15. So right now we've been listening to that microphone as the main sound, but I've also been using Crisp. So what I'm going to do right now is make sure here. I'm learning it on the spot. So if we press it once, we are getting that little like light or little line symbol, which is the noise cancellation. This one is the battery, letting you know if it's low battery. And then this one's mute, which I believe we get if we double click. Yep. Okay, so double click mutes the microphone. Double click unmutes it, and then one click turns on or off the noise cancellation. So what am I going to do? I'm going to switch these microphones. This one has a noise cancellation. I put that there right on top where we could hear me. And I'm just going to put this one back. Which number is this? This is number 2. Boop. Right? You see, as soon as I put it back in the case, it starts charging it back up and letting me know how much is left of the charge inside of the case. But we'll continue. As soon as I did that, we lost connection here. So this light started beeping again. And right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect Ecamm's microphone directly to this USB 1 microphone. And it's going to have none of the crisp background noise. Aiden is over here playing with his toys. I got the AC going on in the background. So we're going to be able to hear everything that this microphone is picking up or removing just the same. So over here in Ecamm, go crisp microphone. Oh no. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn off the crisp, because I guess I would have to shut down Ecamm for it to recognize a new receiver. So instead of doing that, I'll do it the easy way, and Crisp is already recognizing the change. So Crisp is on that audio. I'm just going to turn it off now. Okay, so now this is the microphone by itself. This is this little Amazon $12 microphone, and it's built-in noise cancellation. So Aiden has his toy going, or the iPad going right now with the sound effects. I got the AC in the background. And I just stayed quiet for a second there to test it out, and I'm not seeing the levels actually moving, which is impressive. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, the test now, is to now turn off the noise cancellation to see the difference in that as well. So, you know, be warned of the noisy sound. wow, it seems to be like it's not picking up much of the noise in general, because it's turned it off right now. So I don't know if there's gonna be any difference or anything, but once again, I'm not seeing the levels jumping in crisp or anything like that. You know what? I'm just gonna double check as well. Now we're listening to the Rodecaster main microphone, but with no crisp on it. So this is the raw audio from the microphone. I can definitely hear that. Like, I can see levels jumping that is transmitting noise through Ecamm. And so now back to the USB 1.0. So this is with no noise cancellation. Hey, thanks for that. Hey, Randy, how you doing? Randy's saying what's up to everyone. And he also says $12 cancellation noise microphone, very impressive. Yes, and for $12, right? With this, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have this here because we're gonna compare this, right? Like, this was 2 years ago when I bought this, and this is today. So it's how far we've come in just 2 years. Hey, what's up, Joe? How you doing? I believe it could be one of the first times I see your comment here. I don't recognize the avatar. It says, hard to believe it's a $12 wireless mic or wireless 2 mic system. Exactly. And that's saying 2 microphones so that you can get this noise cancellation or lack thereof right now, right? And prop it up on 2 people, set your camera on a inexpensive tripod like which was the one that I have? My Ulanzi that has the built-in iPhone stand. Throw that up anywhere and you have a podcast, right? And you know, if you've seen, I have a new podcast, The City's Gone, and when it comes to podcasting, the conversation and the message is the most important thing. You know, once you have good enough quality, that will suffice. And the quality that we're getting out of phones right now definitely falls into the good enough quality. And now with microphones like this that you can connect wirelessly to that same exact phone, it's kind of like a no-brainer that if you are a content creator or looking to start doing this, there really isn't an excuse anymore, because you can create good enough content just about anywhere you go at any time. All right, so I'm going to turn on the noise cancellation. So right now I'm going to continue using this microphone for the time being, and to get to see exactly how it works out, because right now we're using the noise cancellation Crisp, which is an amazing program, but I have that turned off. And actually, you know what? I just saw something, and I'm gonna catch myself here, because we're gonna have to redo the test. I'm glad that I caught it now, and then this whole live stream doesn't go void. Ecamm recently just released its latest version of 4.4, and 4.4 also has a noise cancellation, which I just saw right now is like glowing green, meaning it's on. So yes, we're gonna turn that off. Okay, so we get to run this all over again. Hey, what's up, Kevin? Kevin just snuck in here saying hello to all. Has everyone remembered to hit the like button? Please do so. Hit that like button. No, not up. Like that. Bam. Okay, so we're starting over again, Kevin, because I messed up. I realized that Ecamm's latest audio filter was on. So right now, we are back to this wireless microphone. We're back to this $12 microphone. It has the noise cancellation on right now built into it, and there's no other effects added to it. So this is the sound that you can get out of this $12 microphone, basically right out of the box, with its built-in noise cancellation. So now I'm gonna go ahead, and now I've turned it off. And yeah, that made a huge difference, because I'm seeing the levels, and now you should be hearing all the background noise, that's coming in from Aiden's toys, from the air conditioning. We're listening to all that because I could actually visually see the levels here. You know what? Let me see if I could share that. I should be able to. Of course, we can do pretty much anything in Ecamm, especially today that we're talking about microphones. So give me a quick second. Actually, you know what? Let me do preview mode before I mess it up. Okay, so I'm gonna add a share screen, right? Oh. We're gonna give it a second. I got a little. Oh wow! It added 3 of them. Okay, let's delete some. Thank you for your patience, guys. Trying to do something here. Okay, we're gonna add Ecamm and we're gonna add sound levels. Okay, there we go. Let's publish that. All right, back to live mode. I got a lot of stuff going on. Bam. Okay, so now you guys are seeing the sound levels that I'm talking about. So those are the sound levels that I'm seeing. And yeah, that entire time you're listening to all the background noise because I forgot to turn it off. So that was a good test as well to hear what I sound like and what this sounds like. So this is raw, as dry as you can get it. There is no added sound effects to this. This is just a microphone built in, and as you can see, when I stay quiet, see right there, we still have like a bouncing green line of background or just room noise, tone, so on and so forth, even though we have the music running around it. So you know what, right? Yeah, all that sound is Aiden. I turned off the music just to give it that best example. And now we're gonna click on, and now we have noise cancellation. Okay, so it is still picking up some of Aiden's background noise, but that's why we're testing this out, right? Because the other one is straight microphone, but this one at least has some level of noise cancellation. Yeah, because I don't think it's really picking up. It says, yeah, you hear Aiden, he's having a good time. Yep. So this sounds like it's clearing up more of the air conditioning noise in the background, but it's still not like it's not like an AI software like Crisp that recognizes what I'm saying and just allowing those words through, so to speak. So it still allows a little bit, but it still has some of the background in it. This microphone, like the one that I mentioned before, the $10 microphone, has no noise cancellation whatsoever. This is just straight, like, but once again, if you don't care about that or want to use just like the one that's in the Apple, then this is, good enough as well. But I think for $2 extra, all the things that you're getting out of this one, I think this is just like the no-brainer deal. Now, also you have the form factor, right? So even though I clipped there, I could just simply take it off because it's magnetic. And you know what? This is funny. I wasn't even thinking about it, but this is the metal lens cap from my OBSBot camera, right? And that becomes a perfect little back piece to this, right? So that if you wanted to like put it on some clothes, see what's it? Right? Take a cloth, right? Put it behind somebody's shirt. I keep clicking the button just by holding it. And yeah, look at how tiny this thing is. So I think, form factor is a big thing. Functionality is a big thing. I think this one, because of the size and the shape, I think can hold the bigger cell of a battery. So I think, and I don't know, but I'm just assuming that it might have a better battery life. And I'm speaking away from the microphone very far. Forgot that this is the one that we're using. You see, and you could just hold it like so, and definitely I see the levels are picking up the way they should. And I'm gonna test out the quality once again, because I'm gonna now put the other microphones again and test it out without the noise cancellation, because if you can see that bottom part, that little like puzzle shape thing was on before green, which was noise canceling directly from Ecamm, which is an added test that was what's the word? Well, it doesn't matter. But anyways, so this is the Rucker Co. wireless microphone system. Dual microphones, magnetic, noise canceling. We'll see what that sounded like when it clipped on, right? Like if it came through. And yeah, I think it's just like a no-brainer deal, wireless transmitter, and that's the USB-C. If you're still on an older iPhone like me, you're able to still use it via Lightning, and it's up to you. This is just an amazing deal, but let's go ahead and change over once again. So what I'm doing now is I'm changing my microphone, and I'm going back to the Rodecaster. So now this is the Rodecaster pod mic, but not using crisp. So this is the noise, and this is everything that it'll pick up coming out of there. So as you can see, that's very noisy, right? And click on noise cancellation in crisp, and all of that's gone. Right, just while I set things up. All right, so turn that off there. Disconnect this here. Pop it in. You can see it's charging both microphones. And let's look at the size, guys. These are my Rhodes. It's crazy the size difference. But once again, let's go ahead and test this out. Right here, we press and hold the power button. Light turns green. It's already connected. If it wasn't connected, it would be going green and red as searching. And now we're going to switch the microphones. And we've turned the noise canceling off. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the same spot as the other. And now we're listening to the $10 microphone without noise cancellation, nothing on it, completely dry. And this is the audio that you'd be getting directly into your phone or into your PC. If you're in a pretty decently quiet environment, this could be all that you need. But I have to iterate, like I haven't even heard the sound quality yet. If the sound quality is so much better, then I'm like, wow, I sounded incredible on these mics versus this other one, then I would say like, yeah, absolutely, totally worth it. But it would have to be like night and day difference. It would have to be something like SM7B quality. I'm kind of hedging the bet. These are wireless microphones. The capsules are small. We're seeing what's the best sound that we can get out of them. But convenience factor and everything, this already to me wins, because as well, it's in a small little box, which is also very convenient to travel with. It's magnetic, so it's not just going to flop open by itself. And this every piece is by itself, and you would just have to carry it around in a little bag, which it's not the end of the world, but it's the fastest way to actually get this like tore up. But now the funniest thing about this is that I started looking for the windscreens, or like the dead cats for these microphones, and because I preferred this one, I purchased the dead cat little windscreen or the wind muffs for it, and that ended up costing me $10, $9.99, and the microphones were 13. Um, right now they're 12 on sale, I believe, but I just bought them like a couple weeks ago, and they were $13. But my loss, your gain. But to me, I still think that it was worth it. Like $23, $24, wind protected, noise canceling microphone in a case, little like microphones. These are dope. But this is the microphone raw, and we've been hearing all of the yippies and everything coming from Aiden's in the background over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and now do the first thing, right? Which I'm gonna turn on Ecamm's noise cancellation. All right, so this is Ecamm's noise cancellation. So this is just a bonus. And I feel like, I don't know if we're listening to Aiden or what's actually coming through, but this one is making a big difference. So now this is a perfect advertisement for Ecamm, and the fact that if you have an inexpensive microphone already, then something that you might need is to get with Ecamm and hook up the free audio filter plugin that comes with the pro service and an inexpensive microphone, and this could be the sound quality that you're getting. This and the fact of like some noise cancellation directly onto a live stream, onto your video, anything like that, anything that you're going to be creating content, or even if it's just a Zoom meeting with Ecamm, it makes everything better, even audio. Yep, so that sounds like, I can visually see it, as you can see there, a huge difference just by turning on that plugin. Yeah, because when I'm quiet, all we're hearing is the music just coming through in the background. Yes, sir. Okay, and now to finish, we're gonna turn on crisp once again, and now this, I'm gonna turn off this audio filter. Bam. And now this is just crisp working. It's magic. Now we have the ability to use audio filters now in Ecamm, which is amazing. For my situation with Aiden and everything, I still think that I'm going to be using Crisp, but nonetheless, that these systems are getting a lot better, and it could just be one plugin away that I'm no longer using that program, and I'm just using a straight plugin directly into Ecamm, which would be amazing. Yep. So that was that. Let's go ahead and take this off. Perfect. All right, which leads me to the next segment. Let me check with you guys in the chat first. All right, where we left it. Kevin said, "What? It's a $12 microphone?" Yeah, the $12 microphone kit with, like, I had done the whole thing, but there's like 12 neodymium magnets just in this kit right here, and I think you pay more than $12 for just that, right? I usually pay like $10 to $12 honestly for like a packet of 20, depending on the size. The bigger ones are more expensive. It's just the material. So, like if it's more metal to create a bigger magnet, then it's just gonna be more per piece, right? Just the raw material cost. So, but even if it's all of these little ones, like I say, you're at least spending like around $8 in magnets, and that's not including the microphones, the battery. As you can see that it's still charging, so it has its own built-in charger. And you know what, like some of the other ones, I haven't even tested it, but I don't know if it's like backwards compatible where I could maybe charge my iPhone using this as a battery bank. I know that my newer case does, right? Like the case itself was, I think I paid $50 just for the case. So as you can see, these are my Rode microphones. To get into that real quick, so Rode branded microphones, yet I have a newer branded case because like the microphones came in a little pouch before, people realized like how important or convenient something like this would be. So the microphones, when their first iterations came out with just the microphones themselves in a little baggie. Then newer decided, hey, you know what, let's come out with this little like battery bank system box that not only stores the microphones but also charges them, keeps them charged, and once again, like I said, if you have an emergency, you can use it as a battery bank as a backup. So just like I said, this case was $50 from me, just not like a couple years ago, right? And the microphones that went into the system were 300. So this is $350 worth of wireless microphones and receivers, and I take nothing away from this. It's an amazing setup. One thing that I haven't tested with these at all is like range. How far away can you be? Like when will the audio start, getting bad? A lot of things that could inhibit that. I know these work extremely well, but it doesn't take away that this is something that if this was your setup, is very, very usable. And going from $250 for something like this, and now you have it in a smaller, more convenient, more compact size for $11.99 right now. Bonkers, right? I mentioned a couple of weeks ago about this boom arm or low profile microphone arm that I got. I paid $50 to $70 for my previous one, and that was still on the lower end because like the Rode microphones and the Elgato start at $100, and like you're still getting a good product no matter which one you buy. But the fact that you can get a low profile microphone arm that's holding the heaviest microphone that I own, the Rode Pod Mic, and is doing it with ease, just as convenient as my other low profile mic, and this was $12.50. So whether you're going into this setup for like a full podcasting with an XLR microphone, or you're just starting out and you're working with your phone and you're going to use something like this, right now there really isn't an excuse for creating content. Excuse me, I just dried up real quick. Wow. Let that soak into the back of my throat because that's where it came from. But yes, Kevin says it sounds great on his AirPods. It says Ecamm noise cancellation, $12 microphone, built-in cancellation and crisp, total noise suppression. Exactly, like that is noise treatment for your mom, so to speak. Like that is overkill. Randy says it's still good on noise cancellation. I'm gonna have to listen to this episode back for real to see exactly what it is. Kevin says even with him having good time, the sound quality is good, which is actually very important, right? Like I forgot to mention that we're testing out the capsules, what it sounds like at all, like noise cancellation or not. Because if you have a really good environment and you don't have an Aiden, then this could just be perfect for you. So also, to see the difference between the first and the second microphones. But at the end of the day, I haven't even heard it, right? And this is just me telling you as me. At the end of the day, the convenience that I'm getting out of that little box, right, for $12 to me, hands down, is worth the extra $2. It just is. It's just is. Now, this as a throw in my bag backup for like worst case scenario works perfect as well, and it's less than a Chipotle bowl, which is what's so crazy I don't know if it's like that the electronics are getting so cheap or that the prices of food are getting astronomical. But the fact that these things are just, like I said, cheaper than a Chipotle bowl is pretty nuts. But I take that back, and I actually think the prices of electronics are really getting inexpensive. I saw a video the other day of people selling laptops in 1989. Okay, 1989, a laptop with like cutting edge technology was $11,000. Listen to what I just said. A laptop in 1989 was $11,000, and that's not inflation numbers. That was $11,000 in 1989 money, which is crazy to think about. Because if then you put the inflation of like what, actually, you know what? Let me ask Siri. Hold on. I'm gonna mute myself over here so I don't mess up all your phones. What? Let's see what this was. Okay. I might have misread the numbers, but okay. $11,000 in 1989 would be worth, with inflation today, 2025, $28,180. So think about that. Imagine if a company were to come out today and be like, we got the latest and greatest technology, but the laptop's going to cost you 30 grand. Yeah, and now we can get Mac Minis, M4s that do pretty much everything that we need for $500-$600. I take it back. Food prices are not as astronomical as I would have expected. Definitely, electronics prices and technology has gone down incredibly low to the point where $12 microphones are just an everyday thing. It says range, area, battery longevity tests remaining. Absolutely, as you can see, Randy's already giving me the list of the things that I need to test. It said be perfect for wind noise or also noise cancellation. I actually think so, but I also have a lot of wind right here in my backyard. Right, we manufacture a lot of good wind here in South Florida, so it'll be a good test to put it on there one of these windy days. Yeah, because we could just throw it on there, and you know what? I need to get out there more just to start creating more content in the yard. Oh, and I'm gonna give you guys an update because there are gonna be some changes. Jeremy's in the house, says, shoot, just coming in. Howdy, y'all. You came in just in time, brother. How you doing, man? All right, so I'm over here. Everybody's talking to each other, so just making sure. It says, he's talking about this message. That's funny. It says, I dare not stare. Was I paying for the components when I was getting involved in computers? Oh my God, yeah. It says, that's what he was saying. I read that wrong. It says, I dare not say what I was paying for components when I got involved in computers. Dude, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a whole different conversation. Completely different conversation. But where was I? Oh, I did want to show you guys something because I connected a different camera and I just added that to the mix. So this is a new angle over here. Bam, you guys let me know what you think. So this is the other side. You get to see my hanging floating cameras, right? This is the iPhone. Right here we have the PTZ, and then over here we have my A6600, which I actually just switched over because I switched from the 6100 because I'm running some tests, and this is for for future references and things like that. I actually am running a LUT for the first time. So I want to see what the colors look like. So this is just insider information. But I'm running a standard Rec 709 LUT here, and on this camera and on this camera right over here, we're running log videos. So just to give you a quick example, B camera, I am able to in real time remove the LUT. You can see this from the slider to what the camera is actually recording, just like kind of the grayscale and everything like that, and then just bring that back to the LUT that we're using. So that's exactly what I'm doing there. And then the same thing over here. It's almost like black and white to full color, and seeing if that makes things easier, because in all sincerity, I think it might have done exactly that. And if you have the capability of doing, log footage from your camera with a LUT, and and your camera has it, it might be the easiest thing to get, good colors right out of the bat, right? And then there's LUT packages that give you different aesthetics, right? Like if you're big into the, teal and orange and things like that. Is that right? Yeah, teal and orange. Sometimes I say things that I don't even remember if I'm like saying it correctly, but yes, LUT packages with those colors infused and things like that, that's all possible. So instead of doing everything like that, things to make it just a bit easier. And the last bit of information before we get into Cities Got is the fact that I wanted to let you guys know right off the bat, Camera Junkie Crew, things are going to be changing. I am going to be moving forward with moving in with my father. So within like the next 3 months, I will be doing a whole new transition into a new place where we'll be cohabitating together. And I'm looking forward to spending all the extra time with my father, especially in this late stage of his life. But then also at the same time, I'm also just being very aware of the things that I'm sacrificing to do so. So that's coming in the future. But then at the same time, I see an opportunity for something really cool, which is me creating my new live streaming space, right? Like what's to come in the future, and how am I gonna set it up. So I think I'm gonna make it like an entire series, right, of just like follow me along on the journey. And they're just gonna be, very very unpolished videos, so to speak, as unpolished as I'll be able to make them, because there's certain things that but I'll just have to find a cookie cutter format where I could just, you know shoot the content while I'm doing the work, and then at the same time be able to just, share that with you guys, because there's a lot of footage that I've recorded that I've just never gotten around to doing or editing and things like that, because, work, Ecamm and things like that come in priority to that. So they hit the back burner, and then it just feels like I'm never gonna get around to it. So I'm going to try to create less polished videos so that I can create more of those videos and just get more of what I'm doing and share that with all of you guys. So hopefully maybe inspire you in your own builds. But I have an entire, I have a challenge in front of me, right? I've been messing around with this for so long, and I finally feel like I got it to a point where I was like, yo, I have it set, and now I'm gonna be moving locations, so backgrounds, like everything's gonna change completely. Lighting schemes, how am I gonna do it, how am I gonna address certain things, and then also the challenges that are gonna come with that new space. Like some of you might not even know, but I have that window right there covered with boxes for a couple of reasons. One, aesthetically, and to give me a reason to keep some of these boxes. I threw a lot of them away. I was hoarding boxes. I spoke to Gretchen about this earlier today, but I digress. And then the other thing is that, like, whenever a car would drive by or turn the corner, like that entire window would just light up, and it would just constantly be distracting, even for me, to see all the headlights constantly moving, whether it was during a live stream or just me trying to, get some sleep with Aiden, and just the lights coming in here constantly. So that changing is going to be a big thing. And like I said, that was a challenge that I addressed at this location. And I'm just wondering to see what are going to be the challenges of my new studio space, right? The new Camera Junkie studio part 2, so to speak. Actually, this is part 2, but this was live stream from the get-go, so that's why I say this is the first live stream studio for Mr. Camera Junkie and the channel. And we're gonna go into the second live stream, and that's a whole nother thing, because I'm also not gonna miss the Saturdays, so that's gonna still be a thing. So it's all gonna be worked out, and I have to figure it out just the way. But letting you guys know right now, changes are coming, and you're gonna see me work. This entire process is gonna be an iterative process, and you're gonna see me do it in real time. So I'm gonna be looking forward to that. And with that being said, it is now exactly time for Cities Gone, channels that I think you should go and watch. And this week, that scene did not change. There we go. Bam. There we go. You saw that it took a moment, right? I'm kind of overdoing my computer right now. But this week we have Mr. Evan Ramft. Now, he's a photographer, I believe, based out of Atlanta. I followed him for years, and when his channel wasn't this many subscribers, but he's an amazing photographer, and he's this week's Cities Gone. Now, I gotta tell you, Cities God's getting a little tough on me, because I'm starting to see like all these channels that I've actually already like highlighted on the channel. So if we get a couple of repeats, because like I didn't realize that I've already done them already, just we'll call those a mulligan. But this week is Mr. Evan Ramft. He's an amazing creator. As you can see, he's an honorary camera junkie. He's not that big into video. The videos that he makes are for YouTube, but he's big on photography. But as you can see, he gives you tips on how to make money using the service, how to blow up on Instagram, and everything is camera based on the photography side. So you see Nikon is back, Leica to Nikon, and the variety of different cameras. He's talking about the Hasselblad X2D, and even iPhone photography, right? Like how to get best out of your iPhone and your S25 Ultra. S25, my goodness, it's just a year, right? Every year they come out, so it's 2025, so S25. My God, guys, let's just finish this up. So this is this week's Cities God, channels that I think you should go and watch. None other than Mr. Evan Ramft. That was supposed to do that, and then we do this, and then we do that, and we take it away, and that's how we do the thing. But yes, just to throw a little soliloquy, we're on the S25 Ultra. I fixed the Samsung Galaxy S. Now, don't get me wrong. We didn't start making smartphones 25 years ago, right? But regardless, we're there as far as the technology goes. And man, I remember fixing iPhones in 2008, 2009. Crazy how far we've come with both technology and ourselves. So guys, we've done it. This has been another successful episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. This was episode 226, right? Yeah, let me double check this. Having one of those days. Yes, episode 226. Wow. And the reason why we keep track of this number is because that is 226 consecutive weeks of the Camera Junkie live stream without skipping a beat, something that I am very proud of. But it's kind of easy to do when you have such an amazing crew of camera junkies to hang out with and make this my favorite place to be every single week. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. If you made it this far, right, and you're still here, please do so. It's highly appreciated. And I will be leaving the link to these microphones on the pinned comment for the replay of the video as well. But like I always say, guys, you're the reason why this is my favorite place to be week in and week out. And you guys are amazing, so it makes it very easy to keep this going. So if you haven't done so already, mark it down on your calendars. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday night on the Camera Junkie YouTube channel. So thank you as always for hanging out here with me. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces as we do it again next week right here on the Mr. Camera Junkie YouTube channel. So till then, talk to you. And then we hit the button.